here has made a change to standard randomized swords, which means Uncle will give you a weapon. It comes from a pool of, I think, 8 items. And it looks, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, back to what I was saying is you will get a random weapon, and that can be as bad as bombs or as good as sword or cane of burn-up. And we're off. Sab0tender looking to be playing with the sprite of the sprite from Legend of Mana. Or Secret of Mana. And Oyster playing as Mega Man tonight.
2 classic characters. Let's see what weapon they are going to be getting today.
And the bow. A nice, fast item to get through escape.
Yes, and you can actually see they got an arrow expansion in Link's house, and when they got the bow, they actually got the... Oh, wow!
Oh, wow! So, I guess not a silverless run tonight. This is going to be a fast run based on weapons as of right now. Let's see how quickly I eat my words. I was going to say, we have a very fantastic community of sprite developers for this game and a wide range of characters. So the sprite and Mega Man are just 2 of many that are available to play with the randomizer.
I've seen many people say that they've gotten into the randomizer community because they want to play as Samus, or they want to play Link to the Past as some of their favorite characters. And
one of the fun things is the sprites have a unique polymorph sprite when they hit the swirls. So it's always interesting to look out for those. I suspect the sprite is most likely going to turn into a rabbite. I have not actually played as, so I could not say.
I'm seeing that Sab0tender has already picked up... Oh, there's a...
Wow!
Wow, that's... Bow and hookshot is a lot here in Escape. I was seeing that Sab0tender has already picked up a bomb. That's helpful to get at least one of those on the way through Escape, so that when they get to the bombable wall in the sewers, they can get those 3 chests before they leave.
And won't have to repeat this dungeon, which is really nice. This is an interesting seed, to say the least. 2 absolutely required items immediately in Escape. And the sword.
There's another one.
This looks like it's going to be a fun seed tonight. How bad is Kakariko going to be? It's also nice to pick up money going through Escape and Sewers to make it easier on the hit to Kakariko and the bottle vendor.
I suppose with all these items that our runners are picking up, the question then becomes now, what are we expecting to be the troll? Maybe that cane you mentioned earlier will end up being the hidden item this seed.
Maybe it'll be on left side Ganon Tower, and no Turtle Rock required. To address a comment in chat, what is it called when a seed is over in like no time flat? It's a jet seed. It may be indicating that right now. We don't want to conjecture that right now because we don't want to wish bad luck on the racers at this point. We are looking at getting Oyster's timer up. We've got a restreamer looking at it. Since Sab0tender has a bomb already, he's probably going to skip most, if not all, of the enemies throughout here, as he's good to go for everything.
We might see Oyster kill more of these snakes looking for that bomb.
Yep.
Gets a fairy, not the luck he's looking for.
And the rat who has a key was really nice to Sab0tender. So let's see what's in the back of the sewers here. Kana Samaria, boots, and a bomb upgrade. Let's be generous. Blue mail is not a bad pickup either.
Yep, nothing that Oyster is going to miss out on progression, but that blue mail is going to make Sab0tender feel a little nicer.
So Firewood King, without any of the key items to get into the Dark World out of the first, 6-8 chests, are we worried that we're not going to have a quick Dark World access with this seed so far?
That's a possibility. That sword is one of the pieces of the puzzle for Aghanim. If we get a lamp and a cape, that means Aghanim is possibly the option.
Yep, let's see if either of the racers goes and... Oh, Sab0tender with the save and quit. It looks like he's going for South Shore to start.
What an interesting play, skipping out on Kakariko.
Especially when you're right there, it's an interesting play.
I saw at least a crystal at Eastern and a red crystal at Hera. I didn't get my eyes over to the other side of the map.
That's what I saw as well. Let's see if Oyster does a quick lumberjack tree check to see if we actually have an Aga seed here. Looks like he's going to make that check. Some money in the dam.
Oyster getting arrows from the tree pull. That's not a bad find when you've got an early bow and silvers.
Exactly.
And arrows from the hoarder, the little crab under the rock.
Moon Pearl at the dam.
That is the book. Yeah.
The book for Aga. So with the Moon Pearl early, probably not going to be an Aga seed, but not off the table yet.
We could need that book to get into desert if we don't find the mirror. We could need that book for one of the tablets. We can't even check the tablets or the pedestal without that book.
Right, and that dreaded pedestal seed could still be lingering. A jet seed that turns into a pedestal seed would be a very interesting start to this. Oh, and there's your first progression glove in Moldorm Cave with Sab0tender, and a bottle.
If that bottle's the only one available in the early game, Sab0tender might have a little bit of advantage going to Kakariko, being able to check the sick kid.
Yep. I was actually expecting Sabo to fake Flipper and head up to Zora with the amount of rupees he has. But he's...
With the amount of rupees and with the Moon Pearl to do the water walking glitch and get the 2 items from the waterfall cave.
Exactly, but it looks like he's gonna go do Eastern.
We know Eastern's a crystal, and with the bow, I'm sure Sab0tender will have no problem with the dark rooms on the way to Armos. Might get that first crystal out of the way real fast.
Yep, a 15, 16-minute crystal isn't a terrible start to this. What does Sahasrahla have in his closet today? While it looks like Oyster is just finding all the bombs in Kakariko right now.
More bombs in Sahasrahla's closet, and a lot of money real early in this seed.
Mm-hmm. Makes me wonder if there's something hidden up at Zora.
One thing that's important to note is the game never considers money as part of the logic. The game will never put money in places expecting you to go to Zora, but when you have all this money, that definitely enters into your routing decisions.
It looks like just a little bit more money to start.
And that's a flute and flippers.
Wow, Kakariko paying off for Oyster at this point.
And that's a great place to find the flute. You can just head right upstairs and turn it on right away.
Yep, no having to make a run back to Kakariko to activate the flute from a far range. Time for the national anthem, everyone. To answer chat, no, the racers do not see each other's stream, so this is done completely blind. Which is really exciting when you're in the middle of a race and you find something super late and you are assuming your competitor has done everything perfectly and found it way before you.
Oyster attempts but doesn't get the chicken clip, throwing that chicken through the wall. Sab0tender in the dark here needs to kill one of these Igors to get a key. This is a very common strat. Using the arrows to stick into the Igor, that way you know where he is once he starts moving and gets the kill. Think so?
I think so. Now he just needs to find that key. I didn't hear it drop, though. Did you by any chance see what was in the library on Oyster stream?
I did not catch that, no. I'm sure chat will let us know if it was important.
And Oyster heading to get his Moon Pearl? Ooh, the lamp was in the library.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat, for being attentive as well. This means boots need to be accessible fairly quickly. And we've got Sab0tender just making his way to Armos Knights now. He's just about there.
Get ready for a real quick fight.
Yep. Let's see. 30 seconds. Not even, probably 15 at most. And our first crystal at 13 minutes.
Oyster showing off the hookshot. That's a great weapon in the early game. Kills enemies like those Moldorms in one hit.
Looks like Sab0tender is going to make his way to Kakariko at this point. And go through the Lost Woods in the process.
Oyster putting those slippers to use. There we go. Checks.
Oh.
Oyster sees another male upgrade there. So now we know where both males are.
That's quite nice to know. If he's willing to take the little bit of time to go hop on the island, it's a decent advantage. And what's Hobo hiding today? Nice 10 arrow upgrade. Thanks, Hobo. I like your sticks. And it looks like Oyster's making his way up to Zora at this point.
We'll be able to check Zora, the item on the Zora ledge, and get the 2 items in the waterfall cave with those flippers.
Decent density for this early piece to check.
According to the tracker, Desert Palace is a pendant. Thanks to our tracker, Jornker's wife, for keeping up with all that. Let's see what's in the waterfall. That's a big
Hammer!
item. So those flippers, which Sab0tender just picked up, that's definitely the progression Sab0tender needs. And with that, we have Dark World access.
Indeed we do, and I expect to see a lot of hammer use out of these players until they get a couple of sword upgrades, as it does tempered sword damage, even with the terrible hitbox. Let's see if Zora actually pays off.
Not today. Oyster heading back to get those items in the sewer that he had to leave behind.
And since Oyster knows where the red mail is, that is a nice find for him.
That item. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I'm loving chat and their puns about the duck.
Yes, the duck is our beloved Link to the Past randomizer mascot. We all love the duck.
It looks like Oyster's making his way into the Dark World to check Village of Outcasts and see what the chests there have. And hopefully give us a map check to see what we're expecting for the rest of our crystals.
Heading into the Dark World at just about 18 minutes. Sab0tender has a 1 crystal advantage, but Oyster seems to be making all the right plays picking up progression items.
Oyster has a lot of knowledge at this point, and I think that's going to hopefully serve him well. Let's see if we get that map check before he even enters Skullwood. Looks like Turtle Rock and Swamp are our other pendants, with Green Pendant being in Swamp. And Skullwood's having the other Pyramid Crystal. And Sab0tender is making his way to the Ice Rod Cave. I don't think Oyster checked that. Did he not?
I don't think we've seen the Ice Rod Cave yet.
Just the bottle. But bottles are never bad. And it's important to note that both players, since they have the blue mail, it's not as risky being in the Dark World. Still, enemies do hurt, and Oyster with 2 hearts is in danger range right now. Those could end his time in Skullwoods quickly. No items yet on any of the chests in Skullwoods from Oyster.
Looks like Oyster's bailing on the chest in the back. That's a real pain to get to, especially with low health, as Oyster has.
Yep, there's a couple of nasty rooms, so I do not fault him on this. So I guess he's going to go get the couple of quick ones in Kakariko and probably check the 4 in Thieves Town. Oh, Oyster, remember, you don't have a shield yet. I do that quite often in Randomizer as well. Expect to have a shield and not.
Yeah, most runners will just consider the shield to be optional.
And Sab0tender picking up his hammer as well.
There is, I believe, one place where the shield can be a logically required item, and that's Laser Bridge. I think the Mirror Shield is an acceptable item to get to the chests on Laser Bridge and Turtle Rock, because the game doesn't expect you to take those lasers in the face.
And nothing of real value yet from Village of Outcasts. What does the Sea House have for us tonight? More money.
To answer a question in chat, no, you don't strictly need the Mirror Shield for Laser Bridge. The game expects you to either have, I think, the Mirror Shield or one of the invincibility items, the Cane of Burna or the Cape. The game will not expect you to do the laser skip, though most runners are comfortable with the laser skip. It is technically a sequence break.
It is. So our first chest in Skullwoods, or in Thieves Town, being 20 rupees. Let's see if we can find something better.
Sab0tender entering the Dark World near the cave, supposedly known as Hype Cave. We'll see what it holds today.
Let's see if it lives up to its name.
I guess the question is, does it live up to its name or does it live up to its reputation?
Last couple of streams I've watched... Oh, and there's Oyster's special sprite. He turns into the ghost of Dr. Light. And Hype Cave living up to its reputation, not its name. Looks like Sab0tender's going to check the couple of chests just south of Kakariko, or Village of Outcasts at this point, while Oyster makes his way through what looks to be the rest of Thieves Town. Is he going to attempt blind with 5 hearts?
I want to point out that Oyster just showed off a really nifty little bug. If you pick up a small heart with the hookshot, there's a chance it double heals you, and Oyster just got 2 hearts by hookshot and 1 heart. That's a really nifty trick, and I think more people should know about it.
That is a fantastic little trick. As we make our way through the conveyor belt full of Patricks. One of the many fantastically trolly enemies in this game. Dig, Sab0tender, dig! And a vanilla heart piece.
Sab0tender picks it up, puts in all that effort, might as well get something for it. In Randomizer, you're guaranteed to get the item in between 1 and 30 digs, and both runners will dig the same amount, because it's seeded and they'll get the same RNG.
To answer a question in chat, I think they are looking at being able to update a challenge tonight. They needed to lock in a couple of races by midnight tonight, so I think it should be updated soon because of that. I'm going to take this moment here to remind everyone, if you enjoyed the content you're seeing, follow the Speed Gaming channels, the Link to the Past Randomizer channels, as well as these racers. They're doing a fantastic job putting themselves out here to do this for us, so make sure we give them the love they deserve.
Oyster picking up the shovel.
And it looks like Blind's got the last item in this dungeon.
So we'll see if Oyster knows the script for Blind. If Blind looks kind of like a random boss, shoots fireballs out all over the place, but if you do the same thing every time, Blind will respond the same way every time. So you can practice this fight and get it down to a script.
And it's also noted that from the vanilla game, they've changed Blind to be able to take the same amount of hits from any weapon. So Fighter Sword is the same as butter in this fight.
So Oyster not exactly on the script. We'll see if he can pull it off.
Working hard not to body those fireballs.
Oyster does have a red potion.
Probably a really good use for it at this point. Just one more hit. And nice.
That's a good reward for killing Blind.
That is a fantastic reward to find a progression sword. So now we've got a crystal each with a break on the one that Sab0tender has. Where do you think Oyster's heading at this point?
Well, Oyster hasn't done the south part here. Doesn't have the... Sab0tender could not come up from the south because Sab0tender, neither runner has the Titan's Mitts. If Oyster heads down, Oyster can check the digging game and the other South Dark World locations we've already seen from Sab0tender.
Makes sense. Probably the good choices. But Sab0tender, or Oyster has the shovel. He could go, but he does not have the mirror.
Yeah, that mirror is still out there. That mirror is locking a mail upgrade on the Lake Hylia Island. If Oyster manages to find that mirror, Oyster will be able to knock out Pod and Eastern at the same time. Saves a little bit of time since Sab0tender already has Eastern.
And it looks like the run on the South Shore for Sab0tender had quite a few hearts that will make Blind a bit more comfortable for them to complete.
There's a question in chat. What are the little star next to two of the crystals and the green pendant? Those are special dungeon prizes in the following way. If you get that green pendant in this seed that's in Swamp Palace, you can take that green pendant to Sahasrara and get another item. And the two crystals with stars are what we call crystals 5 and 6. From the regular game, they were the 5th and 6th. Those two crystals unlock the big bomb in the bomb shop, which you can lug up to the pyramid and open up the pyramid fairy, which has 2 chests.
I'd be interested to see if Oyster makes a play up to Pod at this point, once he clears South Shore. He does have the hammer and the bow, so he's not very likely to get locked early on in that section.
The question is Oyster comfortable with the dark rooms in Pod? We know where that lamp is, but Oyster can't get it yet.
True, but with 5 items available in Pod, it might be a good idea to go check. So we'll see what he does. And he can also check the pyramid in the process.
There's a little bit of pedestal speculation in chat right now. It's kind of hard to call, but the Cane of Samaria cannot be on the pedestal because Turtle Rock is a pendant and Turtle Rock requires the cane.
And is not even a required item at this point unless the big key is on the right side of Ganon's tower.
Well, it looks like Misery Mire is a crystal, so we are going to need that Cane of Samaria.
Oh, yes, you are right. So it is required. Gonna do the pyramid check.
Might head all the way up to Catfish. Sab0tender also a little off script on the blind fight. Looks like Sab0tender pulled off a spin attack instead of a poke.
With some fantastic fireball dodges there, Sab0tender gets their second pendant, or crystal. Some good speculation from chat that Mirror could be in Ganon's tower.
That would be a great troll, especially after all of the progression we got in the early game.
Mm-hmm. With silver arrows and the bow in the first two chests of the game. What does the catfish have for us tonight? Nothing in Bumper Cave. And nothing from the catfish.
Oyster starting in Sanctuary. I wonder if this is the play up Death Mountain.
I would not be surprised at this point. He does have the flute, so he doesn't need to go up Death Mountain this way.
Probably would be faster to flute, and if you intend to get the old man, then to head backwards, but we'll see.
I think you are right, though. Yep. And here's another sequence break, so it's important to note that the boots will not be up here. Behind most of it.
The boots could be up here because we got the
yes.
flute, but the boots can't be specifically on the old man because the old man is locked behind the lamp.
Good point. And Oyster making his way successfully through the cave as he's around the last bend. It looks like Sab0tender is checking the Vanilla Big Key location in Skull Woods. Without killing Gibdos, this is very risky.
Sab0tender makes that look easy.
Uh-huh. What do we have in and on Spectacle Rock today?
$300 on Spectacle Rock. Sab0tender with the unfortunate Wallmaster.
And more money inside. Oyster making his way over to Paradox Cave. And just a little bit more chump change at this point.
There are a total of 5 items in the cave here. Let's see what Oyster gets. 2 down here, 5 more upstairs. Total of 7. 2 down here, 5 more upstairs. That's
progression
nice.
swords.
Oh my!
That is very nice.
What a cave. Next to each other.
I have previously referred to this as the third hyped cave, and it seems to be living up to my own personal name for it. Ooh, and one of the medallions. Ether.
We know we need at least one of those to get into Misery Mire.
And a quick bomb jump to get back to the cave entrance. Very nicely executed by Oyster as he makes his way up to the top of Death Mountain, and will possibly go clear Hera if he doesn't get torch locked. Just a heart piece on the island.
Oyster leaving the Spiral Cave for now. Might check that on the way down after Hera.
Would not be a bad decision in terms of routing for that. And Sab0tender making the same plays up Death Mountain at this point. So both competitors will have Butter Sword by about 40 minutes.
Oyster needs the big key to be in this next chest, otherwise he'll be locked out without a fire source. Can't go to the basement.
Ooh, and Titan's Mitt.
Oyster, where are you going?
He can't go down there. He'll figure it out very quickly.
But he might wait through the entire tile sequence.
Uh-oh. Does he have an idea for it yet? And there's Sab0tender's Butter Sword. Oh no, Oyster! No! It's very easy to forget these things, and when you're remembering so much that's going on, it's not a terrible play. We can see it being bad, being here, but in the game, it's totally different.
Disappointment incoming.
And remembering, oh no.
With those mitts that Oyster just found, he can go straight to Dark Death Mountain from here. There's a couple of chests there. We've got 2 chests in Super Bunny. No, Oyster.
Does he think Ether is going to light the torch? No.
I really hope.
Oh, he needed to flip the switch to get out.
Okay.
Well, it looks like Oyster most likely will go through Spiral Cave, get that chest, and head into Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. 2 chests in Super Bunny Cave, and then all the way up to Hookshot Cave. With that hookshot, which was nice and early, we might see some good stuff in the 4 chests in there.
Yes, indeed. And Sab0tender, realizing he doesn't have fire and moving on. This puts both racers almost neck and neck, with Sab0tender having the crystal advantage from Eastern Palace at this point.
Right, Sab0tender does have the crystal from Thieves Town. Our tracker will get on that, I'm sure.
Yep, I saw chat mentioning that as well, so. And just another heart piece from the Spiral Cave. Oh, with the Titan's Mid, Sab0tender going to make the check on what medallion for Turtle Rock and open it up. Doing Hookshot Cave first also.
It
So
is
there is access to Turtle Rock right now.
Well, not
into the
really
door.
without the key. We can open the door, yep.
Technically access. Technically correct is best correct.
Oyster on the way to 2 chests here in Super Bunny Cave.
Nothing interesting in Super Bunny Cave.
Nothing interesting. That skull in Super Bunny Cave does have a full magic refill, which is...
And a quick high five from the racers. Let's see what Hookshot Cave has hiding for us. Ooh, a tiny little shield.
So, Hookshot Cave is a bust today. I see a question in chat. Why is it called Super Bunny Cave? Were you just about to take that one?
Nope, go ahead.
Super Bunny Cave is named after the Super Bunny glitch. In Randomizer, you can get into that cave before you have the Moon Pearl. If you fall down a hole while in the bunny state, when you land, you activate a glitch state called the Super Bunny, in which you're able to open chests, among other things. But in Randomizer, it's most useful. It is considered a sequence break using that Super Bunny glitch to open those 2 chests. So those chests aren't in logic, but it can be a very useful sequence break.
It looks like we've got Sab0tender going and checking Agina's cave here. And Oyster making the play for Eastern and Sahasrahla.
Just a heart piece from Agina.
So, I don't think we've seen Pyramid. I don't think Oyster went there. Or Sabo either.
I'm not sure. I think I was looking at Sab0tender when Oyster was in the area.
Just trying to look at what they could be going after next. Because pickings are starting to get a little slim at this point. It looks like Sab0tender is going to go check the cottage beside Misery.
And we'll get a check on the medallion.
Or not. Probably on the way back. Everyone's favorite, the 1 rupee.
Very important. You got to have that money to get into pot. That is an option at this point. We do have the bow, we have the hammer.
And we've got bombos needed for Misery. So we are looking for another medallion.
I see a question in chat. Is there any logic to how competitors are paired? Not in this round. This is the first round of a 7-round Swiss tournament. So in this round, all 512 entrants were assigned randomly to each other. Starting next round, you'll be paired with somebody with the same record. So everybody who's 1-0, 1 win and 0 losses, will be paired with each other. Everybody who's 0-1 will be paired with each other, and so on for a total of 7 weeks. Everybody is in luck because there is a lot of randomizer over the next few months.
It's 256 games a week for 7 weeks, and then we have up to 3 games per bracket match. So there is a lot going on for the next 14 weeks, I think.
Sab0tender is making the play on pod. That's a crystal dungeon that can be fully cleared if you're willing to go through those dark rooms.
Time to pay Kiki. The quick dodge from the trash cans, or trash bags. All races are going to be, or most races are going to be broadcasted. Some of them are not being restreamed at this time. And the cape. Oh, I just have this feeling. If we can find the boots right away, we might. There might be an encouragement to an AGA push. I doubt it though. Although the book is still hidden in the tree. So there's only a few more chests that could have the boots or another key item to move further at this point in pod without it being sequence broke. So let's hope that we find the boots or another item to keep moving. The mirror would be nice because we would have access to Swamp at that point. Fire, did you see what Sabo got in that chest? Was it just another key?
Yeah, I think it was just a key. In this early part of pod, being a key is a pretty good bet, and I think it was a key.
Spike Cave has not been checked yet. But we do not have a Burna, but now that we've got the cape, at least on Sab0tender's side, he can check that.
Oyster puts down the Armos Knights. Gets his second crystal.
Is that... yes. You know what? Good question came up in chat. How do you get into running randomizers or speed runs? Or at least randomizers? There are large communities. We have a giant Discord and volume of knowledge about this that you are more than welcome to come in, join, ask questions, and we are more than glad to help. We do daily and weekly races outside of tournaments, so a ton of places to practice and wet your beak at this.
Yes, by and large, the randomizer community is super friendly. And this tournament itself, you will see people of all skill levels, and everybody's welcome. Everybody gets... That's the ice rod from Sab0tender. That's interesting, given that TR is a pendant. Anyway, I was saying, we're very friendly. Come and join us. Sab0tender just got a darkroom item that we couldn't see.
And a key. Is he going to go through the maze blind?
Doesn't look like Sab0tender's heading to the maze. Looks like we're going straight to Helmasaur now.
Again, a sequence break, so it's not going to have a key item, so at most it's going to get him a crystal, which is not bad. But we're still looking for those key items to make progression, i.e. mirror, boots at this point. And it looks like commentator's curse has struck again, with us having a very, very luxurious opening. And it looks like Oyster's taking the dwarf on the world tour a bit.
Yeah, without the mirror, it's kind of tricky to do those returning the dwarf, returning the purple chest. We're going to see that shovel. We've had that shovel for a long time. We got it in Thieves Town, I think?
Yes, I think.
It ends up being nothing.
And now Sab0tender trying to find those nasty flipped turtles.
What do the dwarven breadsmiths have? Just 20 rupees. Rupee smiths today.
I think Oyster might actually come back into this with the Dark World and check the Peg Cave.
That's true. Without the boots, we're going to have to do the slow pegs, hammering each one by one.
It would be ironic if boots were locked behind pegs.
Well, I've seen that happen before.
Let's say this doesn't pan out. Where are we going next? Where would you go next?
We we basically don't have anything, at least as far as dungeons are concerned, do we?
We don't. So
we don't have access to desert. We don't have fire rod for swamp or for ice. Ooh, Sab0tender takes a death.
Oh, that hurts.
I think we have a fairy. Yeah, we have a fairy. Oyster is doing the slow pegs.
this might be the play, because if he finds the boots, he is on par for crystals as it is right now, although Sab0tender is about to increase that lead. And this absolutely fantastically organized menu with the items we have.
Sab0tender sticks Helmasaur with one arrow.
Did we see what was in Peg Cave? Nothing useful?
No, I was distracted by the Helmasaur fight. We were talking it up so much, and then you just shift your eyes over once.
Yep. It looks like Oyster is going to go check the lunch box.
Arrows. Yoinker's Hour Tracker says arrows. Thanks.
Everyone's favorite 10 arrows. Ooh, and the fire rod.
That's progression. Well, I think it's pretty clear now that we're...
Someone's
Oyster's
upset.
not happy with that.
Rage flame.
That
But
gives
this
us
means
Skullwoods and Ice. Yep.
it gives us Skullwood's ice. It also gives us fire to do to Hera. We've just opened up 3 pendants as it is. And Pod. He has access. Oh no, he needs a lantern to do Pod still. And Sab0tender going through the dark room.
Sab0tender getting one of those items that doesn't show up in the dark. That's a real pain when you're watching. Or when you're playing.
Yep. He's making excellent work through this maze. And Oyster to do the ledge check. You know what? I actually think chat has a really good point. Hera boots would be fun right now.
Yeah, sticking the lamp locked behind that fire rod in the purple chest. That would be interesting.
But not unheard of for Randomizer. Oyster doing his check for medallions. I think Oyster is going to head up to Skullwoods at this point. He's got decent health and the Butter Sword. He can probably make good work of Mothula quickly.
Yep. One thing that's just an interesting piece of trivia is that in the vanilla game, you can't use the Butter Sword to damage Mothula because of the excellent programming of the Mothula fight. But here in Randomizer, we fixed that. You can use the Butter Sword, no problem.
As much as chat suggesting Fire Rod to get the boots, to go kill Aghanim, to get the book, to get the lamp, the book is in the lamp is in the library and breaks that terrible, terrible, terrible logic. We do not wish that kind of chain on anyone.
Just a heart piece on the pyramid, and I think Oyster did check that earlier. Not sure.
Yep.
Oyster's going to go back and get this vanilla big key location. We know from Sab0tender's side that it didn't turn out to be anything, but Oyster left it behind before. You see that Butter Sword just slicing through those Gibdos like nobody's business.
And he's going to find that this chest is not worth it, but at the same time, it knocks another chest off, and right now we are desperate to find chests that have something, anything in it. Fancy sword position from Sab0tender there. To chat, yes, we have checked Zora. Zora had a heart piece. I think Oyster's probably going to go straight for Mothula and then come back and get that chest if Mothula doesn't have the second item. So it's all about the boots hype right now. And having that key sword to cut through that curtain.
Looks like Sab0tender is going to be making some of these overworld checks that Oyster did. Will eventually lead to that Fire Rod. Let's watch Oyster take on the Moth.
Having the Fire Rod does make Mothula a bit easier because the fire can do the bounce and get the extra hit on the lingering animation, which means less problems about bouncing into spikes and taking 0 damage. And the Cane of Samaria. Does that mean Turtle Rock?
We have the Ice Rod, the Fire Rod, the Cane. The boots could be in Turtle Rock. That if the boots are in Turtle Rock, that would logically be a Turtle Rock double dip, because you'd have to get the boots, head out, get the lamp, and then head back into the dark room in the basement. If there's something on Trinex.
Or on the laser bridge. Yeah, I think Chad is right. We are seeing Oyster head up to Turtle Rock, is my suspicion. And since he doesn't... I'm surprised he hasn't saved and quit to do that, though. He does have an easy time in Ice Palace with Cane of Samaria, though.
That's true. Ice Palace is a crystal dungeon that we can complete. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to mash Cold Stare into bits with that Butter Sword?
That is a really good point. Ice Rod was in... Or no, Ice Rod... Oh yes, Ice Rod is in pod, so maybe we don't get a Turtle Rock check at this point. But we might get an Ice Palace check.
I believe Ice Rod was not behind Dark Room, so I think Ice Rod is in Logic. I think Ice Rod was in the room with the 4 turtles in the back. I can't be sure, though.
Oh yes, so it is in Logic, so Turtle Rock is still on the table. Everyone loves Turtle Rock.
That is true. The only thing that Ice Rod puts in Logic is Trinix. And Boots can't be on Trinix because Lamp is on the other side of Boots, and yeah, you get it.
We do have 5 items in Turtle Rock, which is a nice density to check. Sab0tender probably heading straight to Skullwoods. And do not forget, we do also still have Tower of Hera as an option with the Fire Rod. I think I would have made the play to go check Hera at this point from Oyster. But lots of chests in pod to look at, so... Ice Palace has 3 items in it. One more than Moldorm does in Tower of Hera, but... And we'll watch Sab0tender have a pretty clean and quick fight with Mothula, I suspect. Uh-oh. Thank God for the health potion.
Now we have to see what Sab0tender is going to do.
I like how Pedestal has started becoming a hype at this point.
I'm imagining that Sab0tender is going to be making the Ice Palace play, given that we're buying
Grabbing
some potions.
HP and potions, yes. Or HP and magic
So
potions.
we'll probably see the flute to 8 here. No.
He's going to Hera, I think.
Yeah, definitely Hera first. Maybe Turtle Rock after that.
Because he does have both rods and Canis Samaria. It may make sense for him to go check. Well, so far our jet seat has gone into pedestal. Or looking like. Again, just a quick reminder, everyone, let's make sure we're giving these racers a follow, as they're doing a fantastic job, and everyone else for this. I thank my partner, Firewood, and Yoinkers for the restream. We've got a fantastic team on this so far.
Yeah, get your fingers on those follow buttons.
Oyster checking the horseshoe. To answer chat, the icon to the right of the mail, that is Aghanim. So indicating you have killed Aga in Hyrule Castle to get Dark World saves.
So we're going to see Sab0tender take the coffee break strat here. And when Sab0tender gets to the room, he does indeed have a fire source. So we'll see what's... Well, we know what's in the basement. In the basement has to be the big key. We'll see what's upstairs when Sab0tender heads there.
At least with Buttersword, Moldorm shouldn't be too much of a problem for either of these racers tonight.
Yeah, Moldorm will go down in 2 Buttersword slashes. Still have to avoid getting knocked into that pit. Question in chat, can you use a map tracker for official races? Yes, you can. The only rule about the tracker is you have to do it yourself. You can't have the tracker read the game automatically. You can't have your chat do the tracker for you. So long as you do it yourself, you can use whatever tracker you want.
And again, speaking to our great community, we have some really great in-community built packages that handle every mode from random swords, standard like this, to key sanity.
Sab0tender takes those hard hat beetles down. No time.
And a nice, clean, quick kill on Moldorm. So I think Sab0tender is going to make his way to Ice Palace right away. Oh, actually, no, I think you're right on the Turtle Rock. I think we're going to see that right away.
This might be the Spike Cave check first.
Yes. Spike Cave's been pretty profitable in some of the races so far in this tournament.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
We got a fetch quest.
Who called fetch quest in chat?
I guess Sab0tender's going to be checking that right away. That is true. Chat pointing out that Sab0tender has everything they need to do the fake powder. At this point, though, it's too late. We're already oh, well, that was just a save and quit, wasn't it? So we might actually see a reset here if this isn't... Maybe? Maybe not.
I think we're heading to Ice Palace at this point, since he's not up on Death Mountain.
This is probably the Pyramid Fairy. It looks like we have both of those.
Yes, we do.
This is a good call. Two items here. Oyster making really good use of the fire rod to light the torch in the basement of Pod. This is still technically not in logic. The logic will require you to have lamp for all darkroom work, but that's useful if you have the fire rod. Fake powder is not required. Fake powder is a sequence break, so if the game expects you to get the magic bat item, you will be able to get the powder in logic. Fake powder is a glitch you can do if you have the mushroom and the cane of Samaria. You expend all of your magic, and then you use the cane to get the error beep, and switch immediately to the mushroom, and you'll use powder, even though you don't have the powder.
Some quick pokes from the Butter Sword on Helmasaur with Oyster. And not even bothering to switch to silver arrows.
Sometimes it can be difficult to get that silver into Helmasaur. It's like with Argus. Argus is a real pain to get silvers into.
Exactly. Nothing out of the Pyramid Fairy.
So I think we probably see the flute to 8 here, and then head into Ice Palace on Sab0tender's side.
I think he's safe. Yeah, I think you're right. Just going up to the mountain for a quick heal.
Yep, that mountain cave is the best place to load your game if you're planning on fluting, because you can get a quick kiss from the old man and head outside to go for a flight. Oyster picking up blue potions might be thinking the exact same thing.
Time to open our first chest in ice. Nothing.
Sab0tender having some unfortunate luck with that sword beam. The sword beam only does fighter sword damage, and it can overwrite your sword damage, so you're in some cases better off not having the sword beam.
I know I usually will take a hit to get rid of it because it is problematic at times. I would like to confirm that this is a seed.
Definitely a seed.
It's been a fantastic race so far, and I'm impressed with everything both of the racers have done, and they're pretty much neck and neck, I feel. Oyster is behind on Hera, but they're both hunting for those go items, so...
Yep. Sab0tender opting to skip the Ice Palace bomb jump with the Cane of Samaria. It is sometimes quicker to full clear if you don't do the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Especially with the need for boots and or bombos at this point, it is probably a smarter idea not to do it. Everyone's favorite set of stairs in this dungeon.
Sab0tender not happy with the single arrow. I don't know why. That's a great item.
No big key yet, so we can't drop back there to check. And no powder to get rid of that troublesome anti-fairy.
Oyster is going for the Ice Palace bomb jump. See if he gets it. Not the first time.
Still nothing out of Ice Palace. It's also important to remember that your positioning that you would use with the normal Link sprite for the bomb jump may be different with these custom sprites. So if these racers know it well, then great, but it could also be problematic. But Oyster got it on a second try.
Question in chat, where is Bombos normally? Bombos is on a tablet in the desert. You need the mirror to get to the tablet, and you need the book to read it. So if Bombos were in its vanilla location, we'd need to find the mirror, we'd need to do Aga to get the book, and in order to do Aga, we'd need to get the boots to get the lamp.
There's our 2 out of our 3 items, though, in Ice Palace, the single arrow and the 3 bombs. And our third being the fighter shield. Or the
Fire
red shield. Yes. Too many syllables in mine.
F shield. F shield is fine.
It's also important to note that if we had a pedestal seed, we'd need to find the mirror at some point to be able to do Swamp. We do not have any way into Desert Palace at this point to chat.
You need the book or the mirror, and we don't have either of those.
And it looks like Cold Stare has the last item in this dungeon. I think the next place to logically go at this point is Turtle Rock.
Yep, I think that's the case.
We'll get Cold Stare all in the corner with the Butter Sword. Make this nice and clean. A little escape, but... Oh, we did get that third item then.
Yeah, I thought we had all the items. Cold Stare having a key means that the Cane of Samaria was logically required for this dungeon, so you were expected to go do Skullwoods before you came here to get the cane from Mothula.
It is important to note that, you know, Misery is now the last dungeon that Sab0tender needs before he can make his trek up Ganon's tower. So, finding this in Turtle Rock will mean, hopefully it's boots, which will lead to quasi-go mode. And Misery only has 2 items, so... I suspect both Boots and Bombos are going to be in Turtle Rock.
Oyster is not happy with Ice Palace.
Sabo checking Spiral Cave at this point. Toad, the lamp is in the library.
Oyster heading down to the cold stare fight right now.
Oyster not going to pin Cold Stare in the corner. Seeing as he has Butter Sword, he's not too concerned about it. But with 2 hearts...
Yeah, taking some hits there.
Especially since Red Mail is mirror locked on Hylia.
Gets the job done, though.
Very nice.
Here is Turtle Rock on Sab0tender's side.
5 items in here. What's going to be in our first chest? I'm wondering if we'll see Riot Shield with Butter Sword. Seems like chat wants this to be as even more painful of a seed than it is already. And a Dead Rock trolling Oyster at this point.
Nothing
3
yet.
chests in, nothing yet. The randomizer giveth, the randomizer taketh away. And the wonderful Chain Chomp room. That's nice to find early.
Oyster heading to Tower of Hera.
Get that crystal there, and I think he's going to then make his journey to Turtle Rock right after.
Oyster making a triumphant return to the basement of Hera now that he has a fire source. Just bombs in Turtle Rock on that floating lava island.
He may want to burn Tower of Hera down.
Wouldn't blame him.
I'm going to call boots are in big chest, in Turtle Rock here at this point. Sab0tender playing it safe with half a heart.
Sab0tender opting to take an intentional death to get a refill on life. Death sink.
Nope. My psi rating is down in the toilets.
This next chest is the last one that's in logic here. Everything else is behind the dark.
And there they are. And the boots. So we're off to Kakariko to get the lamp.
And then we still are on a quest for Bombos, which could be one of those tablets. Vanilla Bombos.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to check these bootlock locations first. The King's Tomb, the Bonk Rocks.
Yep.
There is the Cane of Brian. Oyster is not going to check the big chest in Tower of Hera because Oyster already got 2 items from there. There are only 2 unique items in Tower of Hera. No need to go back for that chest. It's going to be the map or the compass. Something useless like that. Did Sab0tender never make this check?
He has not.
Wow, some runners will leave that off until they find the boots.
At this point, I'm calling this an Aga seed because I think they need to go kill Aga, get the book, and check the tablets.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing right now. Oh, maybe not.
Is he gonna go get his lantern?
Yeah, lamp first. There you go. I forgot that. Those dark rooms in Aga Tower, you do not want to try them without the lamp.
No, those are no fun. I would rather do the maze in Pod than that.
The highest dark room in Aga Tower has no walls or ledges. It's just falling into pits. It is not fun.
I suspect it was designed with purpose. And the shovel check from Sabo.
$5. We knew that. Oyster already made that check.
Yep, he didn't. And I think he's a little grumpy about that.
Sabo is looking for every excuse not to do Aga Tower.
And I think he's just realized I have to do Aga. To chat's point, this could be an Aga Ped seed. You could get Mirror out of one of the tablets, and then have to go into Swamp and Turtle Rock, and Eastern to get Bombos on pedestal still.
Wouldn't it be something if Bombos were at the Magic Bat and Sab0tender passed up the opportunity to do fake powder?
Oh, that would hurt. But that would mean Magic Powder is within logic somewhere, so...
True. Well, for a few minutes now, we're going to be seeing our runners do some not very exciting stuff. Oyster's going to be doing the same stuff Sabo did, and Sabo's going to be climbing up the tower. So, while you have the opportunity, why don't you open up these runners' pages on Twitch, throw them a follow. They're working in a really hard seed to provide some entertainment for you. So take a look in chat. We'll get their links up there.
This is not an easy seed to contend with, and I truly commend the racers on their work so far. To answer a point made in chat, even though sequence breaking Turtle Rock isn't terrible at this point, it doesn't have in-sequence bombos, or it might have in-sequence bombos, so it could make sense. But it is not likely. It is, I think, a safer check to do Aga at this point.
Outrageous, you mentioned earlier that this is your second time commentating. This is my second time commentating. If this ends up being an Aga Ped seed, they will probably never let us commentate again.
I think we will be banned for that. My luck has been known to swing either extremely lucky or extremely unlucky.
Well, while we're on the topic of unlucky, how many blue balls do you think Sab0tender's going to get?
I'm going to say he's going to get at least 6.
That sounds good. I mean,
with the way this race is going so far, I think 6 is a safe bet. Because we are guaranteed at least one proper hit every round.
We've got a Helpasaur King in the chat with all the statistics. Thank you, Helpasaur King.
No blue balls yet. There's our first.
Number 2.
2. Not bad, 2.
The seed did something somewhat nice to them. Let's see if Oyster keeps going. Oyster does.
He is.
Yeah.
Or not. Oh, there we go.
So we'll see. Or not. Or not.
I think he realized it's not a good idea. Let's make our way out.
So at 1 hour and 33 minutes, 1 hour and 33 minutes, we have a kill of Aga 1 to get the book on the Lumberjack Ledge.
Who would have thought seeing that book early on going, oh, I'm never going to need this, was going to be a false statement?
Sab0tender going into desert, it looks like. Had 2 items, pretty quick check. Did not opt to head into the Lost Woods and check the pedestal.
It's a quite long run to the pedestal as it is, but I think at this point it might have been a safety check, just to make sure that this isn't required.
So desert is boot locked because that was the compass. So the logic expected you to go to Turtle Rock and get those boots before coming here. Oyster is trying out the dark room in Turtle Rock, so we're going to see what's on Laser Bridge.
If it turns out to be Bombos, this could be a completely game changer for Oyster.
Sab0tender, no luck in desert yet.
There's powder. One of our 2 items. If Oyster is lost in this maze, this is really hard to recover from, and this could be really time-consuming. Remembering that that was a boomerang.
Looks like Oyster's going to keep trying this dark room. I don't know if that's the right call, if you can't get through it.
At this point, I'm sure there's a bit of frustration on his part trying to figure out what could be next. And making that Aga call is not an easy one at this point, especially seeing the book and going early on, just discounting it. Let's send Oyster some good wishes, guys. Let's hope he gets where he needs to right away. Looks like Sab0tender expecting this to be a pedestal seed or checking for the last item.
Oyster gets to the middle platform, hits the switch.
And it's a bottle.
Nothing from Landmos.
I expect we'll see Sabo go up to Death Mountain, check the tablet there, and then check the one by the desert second.
Oyster having a bad time in the dark.
Oh, have we?
Sabo's gonna check that powder.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Not the Bombos medallion.
I'm going to say it's on the Ether medallion because he'll be able to just hop into the desert and flute away. Just the way the seed is going. Although I wouldn't put past either of them doing a pedestal check at this point.
Sab0tender has been sitting at both of our runners have been sitting at 6 crystals for quite a while now. Oyster might think that he's just so far behind that Bombos being on this bridge is his only chance.
That is very likely.
We made it! Now, don't die. Get to the safety door.
No!
Oh no! I jinxed it. I'm sorry.
Fire, I'm putting that all on you.
There
There's
it
Bombos.
is. Sab0tender is finally, mercifully, in go mode.
And there is go mode, yes. This has not been a pleasant seed.
Given how unpleasant this seed has been, I reckon we're going to see the big key from Misery Mire in the unfortunate cutscene drop-down room.
In Vanilla Big Key.
Yes, the vanilla location. That's the more succinct way to say that.
Yes, no one being able to call this being an Agaseed 1 hour 30 minutes in. And to chat again, there are 256 Link to the Past randomizer races this week. So there are more races tonight. There are more races tomorrow. There are more races between today and Saturday. There's a helpful medallion. Yep, we have 512 people in this, and it's a 7-round Swiss-style tournament, so 256 races a week for 7 weeks. And then there is the bracket playoffs for finishing. So there is a lot of randomizer to come in the next weeks. And yes, again, please note, Speed Gaming, fantastic host for us, and Link to the Past randomizers. Like and follow them on Twitch, as well as the racers. And a big thank you to Yoinkers for the restream.
At this point, Sab0tender has a pretty big lead to answer a question in chat. Oyster is going to keep trying this Dark Room. It's not going to get him anywhere. We know that the Bombos medallion is on the Ether tablet, of all places. And in order to get the book, you have to kill Aghanim because it's on the Lumberjack ledge.
Sab0tender failing at the item while pushing glitch and getting a little upset about that.
Still makes it in plenty of time.
Yep.
We can
we'll watch the
Yeah, we'll watch the cutscene. We can forgive a little bit of tilt on both of our runners' parts.
Yep, this has been stressful, and I am not envious of them at all at this point. Sabo is pushing hard, and, you know, with this kind of seed, the standard rule is you assume you are in last at all times.
Yes, the way I've heard it said is you should assume your opponent has made all of your good plays and none of your bad plays.
Still no big key in Misery.
I'm thinking there's only one chest left at this point.
Yes, indeed. And there we go. couple of rooms up, and straight down into the mess we go. One of my favorite things in Misery Mire is the room before Vitruvius is literally Vitruvius dripping through the floor.
Sab0tender heading towards the boss. Oyster heading backwards through Turtle Rock. Curious where Oyster's going to head after this.
I think Oyster's just trying to get out without saving and quitting at this point. I don't know why I'm calling it Vitruvius tonight. I apologize. It is Vitreous. Thank you, chat, for keeping me honest. Yes, this room is Vitreous dripping through the floor. That is what the little slimes are. And a quick target practice.
I am not sure if the bot is functional or if we have someone in here to start it up, but with that, Sab0tender has his 7th crystal and is on the way to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the Ganon's Tower Big Key could be located. Why don't you get your guesses in chat?
What are you guessing for this, Fire? Do you have any go-tos?
I usually just pick whatever number comes into my head first, some sort of weird word association game. 7 is the one that came into my head today.
Nice. So I'm going to make a 2-part guess. The first is if he goes right, it's going to be chest number 5. If he goes left, it's going to be chest number 21. I'm calling it's going to be a right side key based on this seed so far.
That's a reasonable guess. You're being somewhat charitable in that you don't seem to be putting it in the tile room.
Yeah, I'd like at least something to go right after, you know, the first 5 minutes going very nicely. I put a conditional on it that it's right side, last chest, not tile room.
Half magic. Not necessary, but not a bad find. Sab0tender is going to the left.
We're at chest number 3 and no big key yet. And there's 7 so far. And we've made it through with... Oh, no. No. Poor Oyster.
Meanwhile, Sab0tender picks it up. Picks up the big key. I think that's number 9.
That is number 9.
Does not have the mirror, so Sab0tender's going to have to keep going.
Oh. Which means we get to see Armos Knights on Ice. Oh no, he's going to just retreat back this way.
Does open the big chest, just gets a small key for his trouble.
Yeah, he is now in a good place to make sure he's on his way up. He was before with 1 key, so...
You definitely want to have at least 1 when you head up the tower. There are 2 locked doors upstairs, but only 1 guaranteed key. So if you head upstairs with 0, you might have a bad time.
I'm just going to point out, Oyster has completely figured out that dark room, and, you know, I think a lot of congratulations is given to him figuring that out in this race. I think he's done spectacular work figuring that out right now.
Yes. As a reminder, go ahead, give both of these guys follows. They've put forth a great show. Let's see what's on the laser bridge. We know it's not going to be progression, but Oyster deserves something.
Quick health refill. Well, Buttersword will hopefully make this gauntlet go a little smoothly for Sabo.
He gets the good boomerang for his troubles.
Some more blueberries. No first cycle on Landmola 2, but a 1 cycle.
I imagine Oyster being this deep into Turtle Rock is gonna kill Trinex.
No, I think he's gonna death warp out. Or health refill before he goes after Trinex?
I'm not sure. I haven't kept track of how many items we've picked up.
He just was at low health. I think he just was death warping to heal up. Because he doesn't have powder to pop an anti-fairy in here. Sabo executing pretty nicely here in Ganon's Tower.
Sabo does have the powder, gets a nice refill in that room there.
And Oyster with a nice item switch mid. And death to Trinex. No check on the very last chest there. I think there is some serious, I'm going to get my vengeance on this dungeon coming out of Oyster right now. We're in Aga 2 for Sabo. Nice double. That was impressive to reflect the blue balls.
And the wizard goes down. We are on our way to Ganon.
Oh. Oh, it did count the 3, yes.
Gold sword, silver arrows. I don't anticipate Sab0tender having much difficulty here.
This should be very fast, and I love this Spaceball quote. Absolutely nothing, Lone Star. Abusing the cape here to make phase 2 go extremely fast. Let's see if he gets the torch glitch set up, or is he going to go for a quick early arrow?
With half magic, torch glitch, not the most important thing. Looks like going for it anyway. But misses it. Won't be a problem.
Set up and missed it. That's...
Oyster gets to the second phase of Trinex in the meantime.
Come on, you got this, Oyster. We got this. Yeah, there we go.
Sab0tender puts the last arrow into Ganon, bringing this seed, thankfully, to an end.
Again, this has been a seed. And not a terrible time for a 1 hour 30-minute AGA decision.
Everybody, get your GGs in chat for Sab0tender, putting together a sub 2 hours on that seed.
Yep, that was a fantastic showing. And I think we're going to see if we can get Sabo in here right away. Oh yes. Hey Sabo, good game.
Hello, Sab0tender. GG.
Hey, thanks everybody.
What a seed that was. What do you think?
Wow, yeah, it was quite something. Man, I didn't think we'd have to do AGA, and there we are. I'm an hour and a half in, and I finally go and check Lumberjack Cave, and that book. Oh my god.
Sabo, good game.
Hello, Sab0tender. GG.
What a seed that was.
So
What do you
yeah,
think?
I mean, like other than that, the seed was pretty linear. It felt like everything like the fire rod on the purple chest, that then led you to Cane of Samaria at Mothula there, and then over to Turtle Rock to get your boots. Like every step of the way, it was just kind of like leading you along one item at a time.
It was quite linear in that certain items were fairly hidden throughout, so it was not the nicest of seeds, but I think you played quite well. It was interesting. Oyster had checked the Lumberjack Cave right off the bat and saw that book, and I'm sure the same thing as you was. If you had seen that early, would you have gone or thought of AGA early on, or by the time you did? It was quite linear in that
It probably would have changed
certain items
how I kind of rooted things. I would have been looking for those boots first and foremost, I guess. So it could have helped me out. But really, there just wasn't much else you could do. Yeah, I suppose it could have changed a little bit of how I played. I actually was thinking that it was possible that book was going to lead me to one more item, like the mirror, and then I'd have to go into Swamp Palace or something.
There was some conjecture in chat talking about a mirror pedestal seat on top of that.
That would have been really ugly.
With the start of bow, silver arrows, and a sword in Escape.
Yeah, I thought, oh my god, this is a great seed. We're going to just kind of fly through this. And, there was a lot of good items early on, but some pieces that were missing that kind of made this one a little bit trolly.
Sabo, one of the things that made the difference late in the race is you got those boots in Turtle Rock and you bailed out right away. I don't know if you're checking the restream, but Oyster spent quite a bit of time digging through Turtle Rock, trying to get through that dark room. Ended up, of course, getting nothing. And it looks like Oyster is trying his hardest to avoid that AGA bait.
When as soon as I grabbed the boots there, I save and quitted real quickly, and I immediately thought, oh, I should have just kept going. The laser bridge was right there. It would have been through the dark, but it would have, the lamp was in logic at that point because I would have gone back and then grabbed the lamp from the library. So I thought, oh, I should have just gone for it. But then I was clearly committed to this AGA 1 book play, so I thought I've just got to see it through.
Yeah, and I think it looks like Oyster tried to play that gamble that if Bombos is on Laser Bridge and you had to go back, he has a huge advantage at that point. So, it was a coin flip at that point.
That's exactly what it felt like, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, we're giving a lot of credit to Oyster because he put up with a lot getting through that dark room. Didn't pay off for him, but a lot of tenacity there.
And, absolutely good execution by the end there. So, he's learned it and got really well at it. So there's something to take from this race.
Sabo, you're now 1-0 in this tournament. Is there anybody you're not looking forward perhaps to facing, or somebody you want to face off against in the next round?
There are so many awesome runners in this tournament. So even just getting into the 1-0 kind of part of it, there's way too many people that I know can kick my butt. So I'm glad I got a win, I guess, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from here. You always want to dodge any real big timers like Christos and those types, because they're always going to beat you. Yeah, no, it'll be really interesting. I look forward to whoever it is I'm up against next.
Saba, we have people expecting you versus Andy in the chat.
Oh, well, that's going to be a really boring match, chat, because I will lose by a lot. So you don't want to see that. You want to see, someone who's like maybe on my level, and then, it'll be an entertaining race at least. I'm just going to get blown out, and Andy's going to hover past Moldorm there, and that's going to be it.
And it looks like Oyster has finally made the call to go do Aga, so we should be seeing a somewhat clean finish at this point from him.
It really is hard to commit to the Aga play. So, I totally understand why Oyster kind of put it off as long as possible.
And especially that late in a seed, it's really hard to make that call. Just going, and especially since it's the book, which opens up very little. I was surprised you didn't do a pedestal check.
It would have been the next thing I would have done after, let's see, I would have checked the ether tablet, then I would have gone and probably finished Stupid Laser Bridge, and then I probably would have checked the pedestal, because there wouldn't have been much left to do after that.
Well, once again, absolutely fantastic race, and GG. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, not really. I had a great time, and I wanted to thank you guys, Outrageous and Firewood King. Thank you so much for doing commentary here. And who was my tracker? It was...
We have Yoinker's wife on tracking.
Yoinker's wife, thank you so much for stepping up. I know that you had to bail on your race to do this, so thank you again for that. And I guess that'll do it for me, so thank you guys so much, and I'll just kind of sit back and watch Oyster finish off here.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Oyster, and some of the Ice Rod strats coming out.
Oyster making sure we still have a show.
Yep, he's putting it on for the crowd. So now, Fire, do you think Oyster's going to go straight to checking tablets, or do you think he's going to check elsewhere once he gets the book?
I'm wondering to what extent Oyster's going to look at Sab0tender's finish time and sort of metagame based on that. Given that Sab0tender is able to finish Sub-2, Oyster might think it's not something big, it might just be a tablet.
Very likely, so...
So we already know Aga's going to throw out 2 blue balls. Both runners are going to get the same boss RNG, so...
I'll quickly take this time to point out that we have another race coming up. That is going to be Dawn Venure versus Scrub Casual. And we've got a couple of races going on right now between Climbing Coder and Rainbow Poogle and Jagar and Vinyl Knight. So we've got a couple more races going on tonight, guys.
And if you're going to head out to watch one of those, before you go, make sure you throw a follow to Sab0tender and Oyster. They've both done a great job tonight.
As chat says, he's probably in rage mode, and sometimes that is actually quite nice to just power through it and be like, I am finishing this. You are not getting better of me, Seed. And, you know, good on him. I'm very proud of what he's doing right now.
Looks like Oyster's going to make the desert play first, just like Sab0tender did. To answer a question in chat, yes, according to the schedule here on Speed Gaming 2, we're going to be going to Rockman 2 at 11 o'clock.
We borrowed him for this race, so he needs to get back there.
Was Hobo ever checked? Yes. Hobo was a bunch of arrows or an arrow upgrade, something like that.
Yep, 10 arrows. The arrow bow. Decent land mola fight.
Let us hope this is the Ether tablet check. I can't imagine what else it would be at this point. Without the mirror, Oyster has to take the long way around. These mirrorless seeds really punishing.
Especially in Ganon's Tower, where it's like, oh, I've got my big key and I'm in go. Oh.
How much rage do you think we're going to see from Oyster?
I think a little bit. There is going to be a bit of sword slashing on that wrecked tablet. Here we go.
Oh boy.
And no one blames him. Let's go, Oyster. Let's go.
This is indeed a best of one. All of the matches in the 7 weeks of the Swiss phase of the tournament are best of one.
And even when we do get to the bracket, it's not best of 3 within the day, I don't think. I think it's within a very short period of time. So
I think each round of the brackets is also going to be a week. So the 2 runners have to get their 3 matches in within a week.
that sounds about right.
Oyster gonna sit through these 15 seconds, hopefully cool down a bit. Oyster gonna pick up the big key in the last possible chest in Misery Mire that can hold it. Yes, it's been a bit of a rough seed, absolutely. We learned that this was an Aghanim required seed about an hour and a half into it. Had to kill Aghanim to get the book from the Lumberjack Ledge, to get the Bombos medallion, which of course was on the Ether tablet, to get into Misery Mire. We gotta give Oyster a lot of credit for sticking through this. Oyster using his bombs a bit
Liberally.
Yeah, liberally is the word.
Wibberwee, to quote an old Homestar runner.
This is at least a cathartic fight.
Not even gonna arrow it?
Silver's Oyster. Silver's. Maybe he just wants to get the stress out. Not gonna blame him.
Yeah, I do not blame him at all. And now for the trek up Death Mountain to get into the tower. And chat, you know, there's something about finishing a seed like this that, as bad as it is, there is a satisfaction of the seed did not beat me, I beat the seed.
Absolutely. If you're gonna start up playing Randomizer, probably the one piece of advice as far as attitude is try your best to finish every seed you start. Even if you feel awful, even if the seed's been real trolly, try your best to finish. You're always, if you're on a restream, you can see right now the community loves when people stick with it.
And not only that, when you do these trolley seeds, you might learn something that you didn't think before. Remembering where a chest is in a dungeon. Remembering that Aga is an option on the table. Remembering dead rocks troll you all the time. Things like that, it's really helpful to develop you as a player. So Yes, finishing seeds is a really, really good thing. Yeah, dead rock at this point. And of course, you know the 1.5 screens of Lionels in this game. It's time in the menu, chat, to flip to powder. So let's see if Oyster sticks with the right side, which would just be so unfortunate at this point.
Oyster heading to the left side, thankfully.
Yes. Key is in, I think, chest number 8, we said?
9. It's the fire
9?
snake
Yep.
room.
Yes. Oh, there might be some rage when he gets a big key and can't mirror out. You are right. I like some people use bombs here, some use the Cane of Samaria. It's all about taste, I think.
And some people use the boomerang.
Yep. Also, you have to be careful using bombs there and not get the double tap. I will say, Oyster is executing this tower really nice. And there was that moment of, God damn it. You know what? The only thing I'm not even gonna say it. We've had enough commentator curse tonight. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I think at this point Oyster has earned our silence.
Because I'm sure you suspect exactly what I was going to say, Fire.
Yeah. I like these mimic rooms because it seems like every runner has their own strategy for getting through them.
Yep. And I like seeing all executions because there's some really good techniques on all of them. And a key dash. Love it. I think Oyster still has 2 blue potions on him, if I'm not mistaken at this point.
Oyster opting to go straight for those iframes. Doesn't try and dash through. Just takes the fall, heads through with iframes.
And now into the gauntlet. If this was Gen and Ball Z, you know, Oyster would be unstoppable after all of the near-death experiences in Turtle Rock. I'm surprised the medallion didn't come out there. Nice use of this cane again.
One of the great things about learning Link to the Past speedruns and randomizers is some of the really cool looking strats are actually not that hard to pull off.
You know, I used to try this room using the cane, you know, on the right side there, and that spike is timed to troll that way completely, so it's like, you gotta go on the left side of it.
Yep.
Look at this precise movement. He's making a joke of this.
Oyster has no problem getting around, provided he can see what he's doing.
Nice juke of the spike. Beautiful. This is why I didn't say anything. Nice double. And another double, hopefully. Beautiful.
No one escapes the rage of Oyster.
Yep. Too bad the old song lyrics, despite all my rage, I'm still just an oyster in a cage, does not work that well. Incoming cape. Rage cape. Uh-oh. No. No, no, no.
Oh, boy.
I thought the cape was coming out and he was just gonna breeze through it, not risk anything.
Taking it a little safer now.
Not getting trapped, yeah. Ho! Use that cape, Oyster, come on. You have a blue potion, come on.
Oh, no. On to phase 3.
You got this, Oyster. Here we go. Hopefully he gets the glitch. Oh, Ganon's position is going to be
Gotta
not
be
pleasant.
careful on the magic. He's got 2 arrows in Ganon.
And now he just has to play safe and dodge his fire bat for another round, and he should have 2 more good arrow shots here. Should get this in before the light goes out. Beautiful. There we go.
Well done, Oyster. Get all of the GGs you have in chat
Yeah,
for Oyster.
come on. Let's give a big round of GGs for Oyster, guys. Teach that seed a lesson. Let's see if we can get Oyster in here for a couple of quick comments on that seed that was. Just a quick reminder to everyone, again, like and follow these racers, follow the speedrunning channels, follow the LTTP randomizer channels. There are 256 games a week going on for the next 7 weeks. Get your fill of randomizer in the next couple of months. Enjoy it. You will get to see races like this and other good races that are out there, because this was a fantastic race. So let's get it going, guys.
Also, a big shout out to our tracker, Yoinker's wife, keeping on top of these items this whole time. And while we're in the thanking and following mood, Outrageous, thanks for being my co-com. It's been a blast spending these last 3 hours with you.
Agreed. Thank you, Fire. It has been a great, great time and a good race for us to go through.
We're going to try and get Oyster in here. I'm not sure, if Oyster wants to take a few minutes, then, he deserves it. We might not be able to get him in before this next race has to start. So I'll stay here for a little while. We'll see. Have a good... Outrageous is going to be commentating again real soon. So if you want more of Outrageous, where are you going to be commentating, Outrageous?
I am on... let me just find the match. Speed Gaming 1. Or Speed Gaming.
So, if you want more of Outrageous, give him a follow and head on over to Speed Gaming 1. I'm not sure if Oyster's going to be coming in here, so we'll see. Have a good night, Outrageous.
Good night.
I think Oyster has earned the opportunity to go and spend some time, take a rest, so... I think that is it for us here on Speed Gaming 2. We've got Rockman 2 coming up in just a few minutes. Thank you for watching this presentation of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Randomizer. I've been Firewood King. Have a good night, or day, or whatever. See ya!